Hello and welcome back to Don't Eat the Cashier. Let's just get right back into it. Oh wait, no, wrong one. I was here. Yes, I hit the wrong button. I just hit start. Okay, here we go. Steps. Another visitor. This one decided to come in through the door for a change. He seems unwell. I hope he doesn't knock over my shelves of shampoo with jojoba oil and delicate lilies on his way. He's not just unwell, he looks like hell. Literally. All his skin on the left side is torn off from his jaw to his temple. Oh, so he's like a zombie. I swallow nervously. What kind of meat grinder has this guy been through? He looks like someone who could rip me apart if he doesn't like what he hears. I need to be careful if I don't want to become the next victim. You look like the Terminator at the end of the second movie, buddy. The Terminator who just wrecked my entire floor. Give him a thumbs up. I'm not sure if he likes funny. I'm not sure if this guy likes funny. How's life, sir? Casual. Well, it's hard to imagine how the other fighter looks. When will the Lord take my sinful soul? Break down in tears, you don't want to work here anymore. You know what? Let's throw a funny. Let's throw a funny at him. That thumb is going to end up in your ass. Okay, he hated that. He hated that. Okay, it's back. He's gonna kill me. How's life, sir? Fucking awesome, like a fairy tale. Thanks for asking. Okay, he hated that too. Well, it's hard to imagine how the other fighter looks. He lets out a gurgling, raspy laugh. You don't want to know what the other fighter looks like. Okay, he liked that one. He likes to think he's a badass. Got it. Honestly, I don't want to know. My inner archive labeled I don't want to know this is at a risk of bursting from overflow tonight. I just realized you can scroll and it brings you back as well. That just happened now. Words clearly come to him with great difficulty, which is probably not surprising for a man without half a face. He clears his throat, but that doesn't help much. I need blood. He tried to smile. It would be charming if he still had all the necessary muscles for that. Now it will haunt me in my nightmares, among other things. The client pauses again briefly to clear his throat. Mine? Don't kill me. I'm already having a bad streak in life. We don't do transfusions here, no IV trips, just discount rot. How about tomato juice strong vintage? Let me see what we have. Okay. Sure, let me see what we have. Yeah, good choice, babe. Step to the storage. Okay, I hate this guy already. He's called me babe. I don't know you. Just in case. He suddenly leans forward, boring into me with his remaining eye. Go and find me some goddamn blood. Okay. Go find the damn blood. A strange pressure builds in my head, and the edges of my vision blur. An unyielding command blossoms in the center of my mind. I don't know why, but I feel an incredibly strong urge to find blood right now. My client is covered in blood, but still hungry. Maybe he fought with something inedible, or is it his own? I find myself in the storeroom, a tangled labyrinth of shelves reaching up to the ceiling, stuffed with boxes and crates and mysterious cans. In the corner, something rustled and snorted suspiciously. So, where could the blood be? I need to think fast. He's not going to wait forever. Right now, I'm at the very beginning of this crazy place. Bob, where's the blood? Go to the food for mouth section. Go to the supplies for self-propelling gearbox. Go to the section foaming body washes for leather bags. Or go to the section items that inspire pensiveness. I feel like Bob will know. For a moment, silence hangs, broken only by the hum of a distant refrigerators. Then comes the sound of pure cosmic irritation. In your blood vessels, organism. But if you mean blood for sale, then check the mouth food section. Don't disturb me. I'm busy doing business. Right now, I'm at the very beginning of this crazy place. Okay, food for mouth section. Okay. These signs are driving me insane. I really hope my manager will eventually learn English properly. I'm surrounded by pure madness of anxious packaging, and even in front of the department entrances, there's some baby food for cyborgs piled up. I'm frantically trying to decipher the crooked inscriptions. In front of me are sections with food for mouth, dense energy blocks for chewing, infused nutritional flows, food afraid of heat. Infused nutritional flows? Here are endless shelves of drinks. Next to Coca-Cola are bottles labeled Liquid Regret or Primordial Broth, now with nucleotides. Cans labeled Braspsy, Vodka Solneccho. I'd love to meet the person who came up with these names. I check each shelf, pushing aside cans of essence of shits and giggles, but find nothing resembling blood. The closest thing is liquid hematosian in a giant wooden container. It smells worse than it looks. I go back. I hear knocking. It's the dry, rhythmic tapping of knuckles on laminated countertop. It's not loud, but persistent and full of irritation. In front of me are sections... Okay. Food afraid of heat? The coldest corner of the store. Large freezer chests and refrigerators with glass doors are covered in frost. Next to the frozen pizza are gremlin cryo capsules. And among the buckets of ice cream, you can find flavors like minty tritium and liquid family. Oh my god. A huge freezer chamber. Spare parts of human organisms, product of animal fauna, exploitation with fruit species. What? Excuse me? Spare parts? This section reeks of formaldehyde and war. Glass jars are filled with murky liquid, sit on shelves where exhibits float. I try not to think about one of the containers holding a name tag that just reads Kevin. Take blood of human organism Kevin, taste of unfulfilled dreams and unwarranted expectations. Take blood of human organism homeless, high content of cheap alcohol and tuberculosis. Take blood of human organism Michael, taste of efficient resource and artifact accumulation. I think the vampire will like the alcohol. I think he'd like this. The jar is sealed, but my eyes water from the smell of alcohol. Just what a cool guy in a leather jacket needs. May the Lord help him not go blind when he drinks it. He abruptly lifts his head as I approach. You already? His voice carries genuine surprise, a clear relief. Well, good thing you weren't wandering around for half an hour. Bring it here. He downs the contents in a couple of big, frantic gulps. The whole liter practically disappears in seconds. A mad grin spreads across his face. I start to worry for a moment that he'll smash the jar against his head or mine, but thankfully he just whistles and slams against the table. This is some revitalizing crap. I drink some damn liquid hangover, alcohol, amphetamines, cleansing fluid. It's like the dude has been chugging pure alcohol by the liters for years. He clearly lived his best life. He might have lived longer if he hadn't decided that drinking makes him invulnerable to the cold. He shakes his head sympathetically. I don't know where you got this, but it's the best thing I've ever drunk in my life. Can we be an asshole? Can we be like, that probably doesn't speak well of your life? He chuckles cheerfully. My life is just one big mess. Nothing to be proud of, nothing to be ashamed of, just like many others. Well, that doesn't apply to me, right? Nobody has ever praised me like this in my life. I don't even know what to think. Cool that you found human blood. Good, you're sharp. It took longer to get to the rat. Does he like funny? I can't tell if he likes funny or not. The closest was your carcass. Thanks. So you can thank your lucky stars that you're still alive. You're clearly tastier than a rat. In a way, that's a compliment. I'm going to wash my dirty face. Don't get bored. Okay. Well, he's not here. I have a perfect opportunity to wipe away the blood stains. I'm just scrubbing a pool of blood on my first day at work. An interesting story for Reddit. A wonderful tale. I'm doing just fine. Nobody has eaten me. Yet. He's looking so much fresher with the second half of his face, although his expression still resembles that of a constipated owl. I'll just stand here for a while, okay? Take a little break. Besides, there's nobody here with you right now. And just so you know, if you try to contact the werewolves, I'll take your head and crush it like a walnut. I'm David, by the way, a vampire, as you can already have guessed. What an incredibly interesting way to start an acquaintance, especially that part about the walnut. Nice to meet you, Soggy. Okay, Soggy. I knew a Soggy once. She used to trade kidneys in Venice Beach. She was a good girl until she got packed up. What the heck? Excuse me. That's not my life. He's trying to provoke me, deliberately sharing the dirty details of his life to see how uncomfortable I can get. Okay, the jester was easier to read, because that guy just liked funny jokes. This guy, I can't tell. Suppose I'm also selling some kidneys now. Check the catalog. Yes, exactly 10 categories. Catalog? You seriously have a catalog? He leans forward, genuinely intrigued, peering into the catalog. Ghrelin kidneys. Is that a delicacy? Why does it say both delicacy and fuel and animal venom? Because it's a universal product. Oh yeah, I forgot Bob. Bob actually probably made... Yeah. Bob probably actually made a catalog full of kidneys. Yeah, it's a universal product. Want some? I do. Looks like I found my best customer for today. Now I have a vampire here, and he's regenerating. Wonderful. The main thing is not to accidentally blurt out something wrong. I need to be friendly. I guess this one didn't really matter. I can overwrite this. Are you sure you're a vampire, not a chupacabra? They drink blood too. Since many vampires wear leather jackets, don't you guys prefer capes and ruffles anymore? Thanks for not eating me, David. Okay. Say nothing, silently wipe the counter. How about, since when do vampires wear leather jackets? Ruffles, what the hell is that? I'm no Ruffles, what even is that? Some French insult? Okay, his expression is as if I suggested he wear a maid's outfit. He'll defend that worn leather monstrosity at the cost of his life. That's obvious. Okay, Chupacabra? Okay, no, he hates that. Thanks for not eating me. David lets out a quick chuckle. The guy clearly expects people to be afraid of him. He might have looked lost when he first arrived here, but now, seeing my fear, he obviously feels right at home. It's not over yet, although you're too bony. Oh gosh. Okay. Silently wipe the counter. Okay. I think that was a bad thing as well. Okay. How about I just say thanks for not eating me? He laughs here, but then he does look like he's gonna eat me. It's not over yet, although you're too bony. And I'm sure you love to eat all that cheap crap like instant noodles. People like that. Their blood's not tasty. Only if there's something more interesting in that blood. So you don't like glutamate and cholesterol? That's the taste. Those are the tastiest things in the world. So, sir, let's get one thing straight. I am not food. I am not for sale. So does alcohol affect vampires too and other things? Shrug. I don't know what that means. He probably doesn't even know what those words are. What, got any suggestions? Of course, we have a fantastic deal on Solneccho vodka today. Only $10 for a case. After work, would you like some mouthwash? Okay, Bob would love me saying this. Is that the same bootleg crap that a couple of people recently kicked the bucket from and a few others went blind? Okay. After work, David lets out a quiet chuckle. How often do you flirt with people covered in blood? Maybe even after work, I wouldn't mind walking you home, especially if no one is looking for you. Yes, to answer your question, alcohol affects us, but you need a middleman. You find some junkie or alcoholic and pump them up. Then you get plastered and turn into the happiest vampire in the world. David slightly grimaces as he moves his hand. Damn mutts. Probably not all the wounds have healed completely. And does being a vampire doctor fall under my duties? I think Bob said it was mandatory. Point at the wound, let me help. He looks at me skeptically. The offer of help is probably so foreign and unexpected to him that it leaves him momentarily dumbfounded. You what? You want to play nurse? A flicker of confusion is replaced by something more intense. It's a couple of scratches and a little piece of ass that will grow back on its own. I'm fine. He's missing a butt cheek? He's walking around with only one cheek? He's missing a little bit of his ass. What? Excuse me? If you don't let yourself be treated, my boss will lock us both in a dimension of horror where we will be cleaning toilets with a fork for 2,000 years. I see you're afraid of doctors, huh? Such a tough guy, yet scared of getting treated. Say conciliarily. Say conciliarily. You mentioned werewolves. It's probably not just a scratch. Let me try to help, okay? I gave him a chance to save face. Now we're treating him not because he's a wimp, but because he survived an epic battle. A direct blow to his ego. The guy immediately starts puffing up with pride. His eyes light up. Aha! I hope I didn't catch rabies. I decide to remain silent about how he is already pretty rabid. 4 against 1 in a narrow alley, you know. There's a myth about werewolves being damn noble, unlike us bloodsuckers. Well, that's a load of crap. One of them was hiding in a trash can, ready to jump out at me. My heart would have definitely stopped dead, even if it still beat. It would have just ripped apart from a freaking heart attack. I'm afraid I'll never be able to take out the trash again without fearing for my life. Judging by the distant look, he's plagued by flashbacks of what he's been through. David awkwardly moves his injured arm. All right, hand over your first aid kit. I'm sure this won't be the last pack I'll have to take down. There are way too many stray dogs around these days. Damn you. Go ahead. Get your band-aids with Dr. Chocula or whatever you're selling. David sheds? Like a snake? David sheds his jacket and t-shirt, then settles onto a squeaky stool next to the counter. He's about to face a serious trial, staying in a vulnerable position for a few minutes. For some reason, cruel fate hasn't made him claw-proof. He certainly looks like he was just thrown into a blender. Judging by those bullet scars, he has quite an interesting past. Or maybe he was attacked by werewolf cowboys with guns. Most likely the former. By the way, I didn't know that corpses have doctors too. I thought the only doctor available to me now is the coroner. I'm rummaging through the necromancy kit that was sitting under the counter. It's a heavily military-style metal box with a faded label reading Kit for Alternatively Living Organisms. Inside, besides standard bandages, there are some strange items. Silver tweezers, vials of thick glowing liquid, additional fingers, and of course, an instruction manual. A cheap laminated brochure stained with something that looks like coffee. In the instructions, the first point states, determine whether you are dealing with a zombie. Ask your alternative living subject if they ever wanted to eat someone's brain. Alternatively living subject. Have you ever wanted to eat someone's brain? I kind of want to see what he says. What? What subject? Fuck. I'm not, a subject. It seems I've offended his vampire feelings. He lets out an annoyed sigh for the umpteenth time today. Your brain, definitely not. Okay, we can go back. I just kind of wanted to see what he would say. David is clearly not a zombie. Move on to the next point. He glances skeptically at the pictures flashing in the instructions as I flip it over. Zombies, necromancers, abominations made of bones, flesh, and cabbage swirl in front of his face like a mesmerizing kaleidoscope. And all of this lives in the city sewers. I don't know how you're going to use the bathrooms now. It would be great if you didn't notice that. Why do I have to deal with all of this? I steal a glance at my visitor. I wonder if werewolves just clawed him up, or if he managed to kill someone too. My instinct, something out of the Stone Age, suggests that he could have. The guy has a killer's gaze. You see someone like him in an alley. Your hand automatically reaches for your wallet and phone. I lower my eyes. Next point. Let's establish the nature of the injuries. What kind of wounds could werewolves leave? It's simple. You got lacerations, claws, teeth, and a bit of saliva. Possibly very contagious. It seems the damage is psychological. Tell me about your tragic past, as it says in the handbook. He would hate that. David listens to this with the pride of a true soldier. Every word feels like a medal for valor. Something like that. He said it as if he didn't care, but I know better. Stroke his ego at the end. Wounds from a real rabid beast, buddy. Shake your head. You really need to stop with these fights. They won't lead to anything good. Stop medical discussions and just move on to the next point. I feel like at some point, oh my gosh, he says, I'm dying of laughter. He chuckles happily, trying to hide a glimmer of pride behind humor. but I won't be fooled. David is no longer just a wounded sucker. He's a true gladiator, having survived a battle with rabid beasts. Absolutely epic. I read through what medication I need, and I grab the regenerating extract for alternatively living life forms. And now all that's left is to apply this stuff. I dip my fingers in the jar, and he suddenly grabs my hand. Do something wrong, and I'll rip your tonsils out through your ass. This guy, he's missing a butt cheek, and he's threatening mine. Stay calm in an icy tone. Allow me to do my job, sir. I'll be extremely careful. If you touch me, my boss will rip your soul out through your ass. Would Bob? I don't know if Bob would. Maybe Bob would. You know, you have this fantastic talent for coming up with threats. You should write scripts for action movies. No way, I'm a pathetic, miserable, harmless cashier. Let me say Bob will come save me. Really? It's hard to pull my hand away when dealing with a creature of such strength. I brace myself, but his grip doesn't budge an inch. He's clearly amused by my struggle. To be honest, I'm not sure if Bob will back me up. Shouldn't he? Don't squirm. I don't like hurting other people, but I can. Just do your job well, and everything will be fine. I apply this black goo to the wound. A puff of steam rises from the wound, and the air starts to smell like something is frying. It's probably very painful, but David remains calm. Not a single complaint, which is surprising. I hope it's not from your squid manager. We all hope for that, buddy. Be more careful. Pour a little more goo on him. Restore some justice. Just be careful. Because if we don't get tips, we die. Or not die, but we get sent to a realm. We can't even live 2,000 years. So yeah, we do die. My movements become slow and deliberate. I do everything cautiously, barely touching the skin around the wound, allowing him to get used to the sting. I can see the tense muscles in his back and shoulders relax slightly. He's still wound up, but the relief is starting to wash over him. Naturally, no thank yous or pleases from him, but at least he's no longer threatening to do something to my ass every 5 seconds. Distracting with conversation. You know, David, every noble knight needs someone to tend his wounds after great battles. Finish your dark work in silence. I feel like he would hate. That sounds so cheesy. What are you talking about? What night? What battles? But he loved that. That was a heart. I fought in an alley stinking of urine against a bunch of dirty werewolves for territory on the outskirts of this godforsaken city. They tore my pants. They tore his pants and stole his ass. And I had to take a new pair off a junkie who was lying in a puddle nearby. What am I, a knight of what? The knight of torn pants? As long as they're not stained, well, you get it. Or say with the pomp of a medieval wizard, you are a wolfhound knight. Wait, he liked that too. What the heck? Oh, go to hell. What is this guy? I don't get this guy. So his pride is so like, he has so much pride that like, even if you're like talking to him like you're in like Baldur's Gate, as long as you're saying he's like the main character of that campaign, he's into that. Just as long as he's like the knight in shining armor in that scenario. Got it. David says this almost affectionately. It seems we're making progress in our relationship. I finish up surprisingly. The wounds really are healing. The scars won't beautify this man. Why are you doing all of this? The question is asked in an astonishingly serious tone. He's driving me crazy, even more than that clown from earlier, it seems. Yeah, the clown, I was way simpler. I like that jester guy. I just want to help. Lie, you want tips, and to go home, play The Sims, and watch stupid shows. I just want to help. Truth, you're an angel of mercy from this dirty gas station. These are my work obligations. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't bother with you. No, let's lie. His social skills are terrible. He probably doesn't realize that I lied to him. Judging by that wrinkle between his brows, he's trying to understand, but all his attempts are doomed to fail. Why? David's confused. In his system of beliefs, action always equals benefit. I'm throwing a wrench into this flawless, long-running mechanism. I'm not saying that. That's crazy. What? Excuse me. I can't watch someone suffer. Wow, God bless your noble heart. He shifts awkwardly. Clearly, he's uncomfortable and unaccustomed to being the object of compassion, so he immediately hides behind yet another sarcastic comment. But what can I do? I feel sorry for every little kitten on the street. Sometimes I can even feel sorry for especially large, nasty, troublesome kittens. It must be tough living with someone like that, huh? I bet you have 40 cats living in your apartment, and all of them are strays. David reads me like an open book. It's amazing that he can even read at all. Most of the time, help isn't altruistic. People always want something in return. Money, a favor for you to take them off the hook. Helping people for no reason is like throwing shit against the wind. Alright, moving on. Screw this. I honestly don't care what's going on in your head. This is the most unconvincing lie I've ever heard in my life. He clears his throat. Thank you. What? Am I hearing things? I thought he didn't know such words. I'm even afraid to breathe so I don't scare off this rare, exotic display of politeness. He says that word as if he's pronouncing it for the first time in his life. I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually the case. Just a couple more seconds and he's back in front of the counter. So the client is fed, cleaned, and healed, and yet he's still here, not putting any money on the counter, and the tip jar is lacking. I look at him. He's supposed to be full of energy, but instead he looks lost. David is deep in thought, in that dark, gloomy little place that occupies his mind. Are you planning to pitch a tent here? Can I do anything else for you, sir? Have you decided to eat me after all? This isn't the best place to crash, buddy, but there's a vampire hotel 2 blocks down. Are you planning to pitch a tent here? David snorts, hearing the impatience in my voice. What, already tired of my company, doll? He's calling me doll? Wait, what year is this, dude? I know he's a vampire, but still, it's like kind of... I leave when I want to leave, and I don't want to yet. I'm curious about one thing. I haven't talked to a regular human in a long time. I wonder, by regular human, does he mean my extremely natural essence? I'm no vampire, werewolf, or thieving gnome. Or does he mean my lack of criminal record and absence of drug or alcohol dependency? Or maybe he's looking for the perspective of an ordinary worker, a working class person, a gray collar. Does your face always look that funny when you're thinking about something? I didn't even get a chance to respond to his chat before he follows up. Let's conduct an experiment. Suppose you're now a free vampire, able to go wherever you want, do whatever you want. Where would you go? David looks at me expectantly. What kind of superpowers do vampires have? What weaknesses will I have? And who were you before the bite? Can you find everyone who wronged you in life and get revenge? A lot of things depend on who exactly turned me into a vampire. Who vamped you? Oh, I can actually go through them all. Okay. Interesting. A whole lot. We're practically a superhero league. I'm sure it never crossed your mind that in reality, bloodsuckers can be way scarier than in sappy movies for girls. Looks like he's watched Twilight. Interesting. Some of us not only drink human blood, but also capture people to experiment on them. They turn human bodies into a real nightmare of flesh and bones. Dr. Moreau couldn't even imagine. And there are vampire sorcerers who can rip your soul out of your body and make you work for them for an eternity. Literally. Seems like I already have one of those sorcerers. His name is Bob. He's checking his bills. There he is. I wonder what inner strength it took David not to flinch. And there are those who can make your head explode, literally, with just a glance. But not all of us are such wicked bastards. We don't even have to kill a person to eat. Just drink a little, instead of gorging yourself like a pig at the trough. But some don't care. They just drain all the blood and splash it everywhere. The forensics team is baffled why the person turned into a sprinkler before dying. Seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. Okay. And which of these do you have? I got a decent list of what I can do. I'm not complaining. Imagine it. You never get tired. You can party all night long. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Oh wait. You're stronger than 10 thugs combined. Well, except for 10 werewolf thugs. That might take some effort. If you want to shrink down and fly somewhere, you can turn into a tiny bat. Your reflexes become 100 times sharper. You feel everything. You see everything. You can hear a rat piss a block away. I don't want to hear what rats are up to. Oh, Lord Soggy, that's just an idiom. You can order it if you want. All vampires would go insane if that was true. Do I look like a madman? Politely, I decided to stay silent. He continues. And finally, you can make people do anything you want. Absolutely anything. Are you sure the last one is due to your vampirism, not just because they're scared you'll beat them up? I feel like he would like that, because he's a tough guy, right? David lets out a sharp, raspy laugh. You're right. Most law-abiding citizens avoid me by 100 miles. It's a working strategy in most cases, but sometimes you need a subtle approach, you know? The word subtle from this guy sounds almost comical. It's one thing to scare someone shitless. They give in just to avoid being harmed. It's another when they act with full confidence that is what they want. They don't even realize they're just vampire pawns now. Yes, I think I get it. He pulled that trick on me too. David smiles, but this time the smile is strained. These are the words of someone stuck in a web of artificial connections and ass-related threats. Fear and supernatural compulsion are the best foundations for a strong friendship. David, you're a creature stuck in a web of artificial connections and ass-related threats. Your whole life is based on lies. I can enchant friends for myself, wonderful. Or make someone give me their wallet. Nice. He lets out a quiet chuckle. Well, not exactly friends, more like underlings. You can hatch all sorts of cunning plans with human politicians or, well, pay no rent. The last part sounds like music to my ears. Seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. Can vampires open beer cans with their mind? Oh, sure they can, but they can't drink beer afterward. When I was just recently turned about 2 years ago, I tried to eat spaghetti. Not the smartest decision. I don't want to know what happened with your spaghetti. I want to know something else. I want to know. What happened? I threw it farther than I could see, puking out blood and meatballs, left some graffiti and a bit of pasta on the wall. The guy who cleaned it up probably thought a whole spaghetti monster exploded in that alley. Oh, Mamma mia, no more pasta, pizza, no delicious food? That's terrible. Giving up human food is a small price for immortality. Exactly, drinking blood is great. I could do it my whole life. I mean, I will be doing it my whole life forever. He pretends to be happy living without spaghetti. I haven't seen so much pain in someone's eyes for a long time. Oh. Okay, what about this? You got it exactly. I miss pizza. My buddy used to say you always have to sacrifice something. In our case, it's pizza. Sounds silly, of course, but in reality, it sucks. Still, you get used to it over time. I can see he's lying. David lives in a spaghetti-less hell. What kind of monster would doom someone to that? You can still order food delivery, by the way. Just this time, eat the delivery guy. He seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. Okay. Why did you watch Twilight? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't watch emo crap. I hold a dramatic pause. David looks like a cornered animal. He stares at the floor, then the ceiling, anywhere but at me. Finally, he lets out a sigh. Filled with disappointment and embarrassment. Fine, damn it, alright, I watched everything. All Twilight movies, watched The Lost Boys, Interview with the Vampire, Blade. The idiot who bit me didn't explain anything beyond the basics, like, don't go out in the sun, you little punk. I thought maybe these stupid movies had a clue, you know? Hidden all that silly romance and melodrama. Most of it turned out to be bullshit. I read legends, searched for online info. As you can imagine, all supernatural beings try not to give themselves away. Sometimes you still stumble upon bits and pieces. Or crazies, one or the other. My favorite, by the way, was From Dusk Till Dawn. Too bad vampires don't explode in real life. You still haven't told me if you sparkle like Edward Cullen in the sun. Takes a deep breath, ragged breath. No, we don't sparkle. Want to know what happens if I step into the sun? I catch fire in the sun, as if someone poured gasoline on me and lit a match. You know what that smells like? Like fried chicken. It's a nasty, excruciating final death. Very brutal. Hot men. Burning alive. That's crazy. Terrible. Hopefully it's not about Twilight. What weaknesses will I have? Well, no more tanning. No reflection in mirrors. If you were ugly before, it's actually a bonus, right? You can enter without an invitation. Garlic doesn't scare you either. Holy water is trickier. It depends on the situation. A stake works, but piercing your chest would be quite the challenge. Piercing any part of you is quite the challenge, actually. Our skin is like steel, unless a particularly persistent werewolf comes along. Well, at least you can enter without an invitation. No need for unnecessary chit-chat with people. Okay. And who were you before the bite? He opens his mouth, ready to tell me off, or mentions something about butts again, but stops himself. Probably his thank you sealed our fragile friendship. I'll tell you, but it's important, probably not relevant. Well, it's nothing. I was a nobody. I was just surviving as everything went to hell, unlike all those bastards born with a silver spoon up their ass. You ever see those happy American families in TV commercials? They sit at the table with a bowl of salad, smiling like idiots. They always have a dog. Well, that wasn't my case. My stepdad was a crazy guy who thought the best birthday gift was a smack on the head. He did teach me how to shoot properly, though. I left my family dump early. It's really dumb, but I thought I'd start a band and become a rock star. But as you say, wish in one hand, shit in the other. See which one fills up faster. At first, I worked wherever I could, then found some guys to do some shady stuff with. There aren't many ways to make a living in the Los Angeles area. Can't exactly work the cash register, right? David jabs again, but without malice. The antisocial environment made him resentful of the middle and upper classes, but it hasn't affected me yet. I wonder why. Yeah, being a gangster would be cool, doing gangster things, riding motorcycles. Hey, working the cash register isn't so bad. It would have been better without customers like you. Make no comment. Maybe make no comment is better here, but let me just see what he says to this. He lets out a quiet chuckle. Come on, life isn't as fun as it is on TV shows. Mostly, we just sold diluted crap to junkies and solved problems. Sometimes no person, no problem, you know? Okay, I preferred the part about the motorcycles. That's it, that's the whole story. What about you? Oh lord, this is my chance to make up something cool or just tell it like it is. I'm a criminal too, the best sniper in my gang. I'm now hiding under a fake name in another city and state. I have a single parent family and an art degree and no dog. Tell the truth. Yeah, say more of this. Tell the truth. He listens to how I ended up in this dump, about my job search and everything else. I didn't sell drugs in alleys, but it seems we still find some common ground. Got it. You're not in your element. David truly understands. Neither he nor I want to end up where we are. Neither of us knows what to do next. And we both love cheap noodles, but he can't eat them anymore. I win. You must be tired of those draw me requests, right? I would draw you. Oh, like a French girl. He tries to look nonchalant, but his eyes show he's interested. Go ahead, I love beautiful doodles. He says the word doodles with such strange tenderness that it sounds more like a compliment than an insult. I pick up a pencil. Draw him as he is. I feel like he won't like something funny. I feel like he might shoot me in the head if I drew him funny. Wow, what a face. Almost forgot what it looked like. Bags in my eyes like a junkie. Silence hangs in the air while David examines the drawing. He clearly doesn't know how to react to this unexpected little act of normalcy. Looks cool. The last words are spoken in a barely audible, almost reverent whisper, unlike anything I've heard from him before. 2 simple words said with all sincerity this guy can muster. I can do something too. David takes the pencil from me and with deep concentration, almost sticking out his tongue, scribbles something. A few minutes later, a drawing appears before me. I never would have thought this guy was capable of that. Wow, beautiful. Yeah, be nice to him. He's gonna shoot you in the head. David clears his throat, embarrassed. Nothing special, just a doodle. I was into it a bit when I was a kid, comics and all that stuff, nothing serious. I take the drawing for myself. All right, where were we? David looks at me. Okay. Can you find everyone who wronged you in life and get revenge? Yeah, a lot of people think about that first. But it's a bad idea to leave a trail of bodies of people you were somehow connected to. And your head quickly fills with other things like, well, the fact that you're dead and it's forever. So after you've been turned, you didn't find everyone who bullied you in school and beat them up? Okay. I actually beat them right at school. Ah, right. You might think I was some kind of bully, consistently pulling pranks, but I was actually quiet in class. Just messing around at the back of the class like an invisible man. Until some jerk started picking on me. Once I smashed a globe over a guy's head because he mocked my sneakers. As if wearing clothes from Walmart made me worse than them. Good thing we don't have globes here. Okay. A lot of things depend on who exactly turned me into a vampire. Who vamped you? He doesn't answer right away, just furrows his brows. Several long minutes pass in silence. Some old stinking jerk. A lot mixed into those 4 words. It's as if he hates and mourns the old jerk. A lot of mixed into those 4 words. It's as if he both hates and mourns the old jerk. Probably that guy wasn't a contender for Father of the Year. I wait for him to continue, but he remains silent. He looks like an angry cornered dog. It's unlikely he'll speak upon his own. And what did your old stinking jerk do? Don't call him that. Damn it. Don't you dare. The rage in his eyes shifts to confusion just for a brief moment before he looks away. I mean, yeah, call him whatever you want, including an old stinking jerk. So what did he do? The jerk suffered from power seizures. That's all there is to say about him. No amount of booze could erase what that damn villain did to my memory. I suppose old vampires are all like that. It seems he won't tell me more about his vampire dad. Okay. I'm ready to tell you my decision. Excellent. He leans in a little closer, when suddenly, we hear a wolf howling. I didn't even have time to blink before David vanishes. Now he's a little bat hiding behind the counter. Oh, there he is, right here. Listen up, don't say anything about me. Sit tight and behave, or you'll feel incredibly shitty. Trust me, if you rat me out to that mutt, I'll find a way to get out and twist your head off. The threat in his voice completely lacking, mostly because this voice now comes from a very small, tough, angry bat. What? Werewolf. A werewolf is about to come here now. Oh, whoops. Oh my gosh, what is that? The creature steps inside. Good evening, ma'am. A low rumbling bass, surprisingly calm and friendly. Can I pet you? Ma'am? I'm not sure I understood you correctly. You want to pet me? He awkwardly shifts from paw to paw. That's very unexpected and of course flattering, ma'am. Don't get me wrong, but I'm kind of on duty, tracking the supernatural. He looks around nervously. Alright, you can, but just a little. I still have important business. Cute. I reach down and pet him. The fur is warm, soft, and thick. I immediately feel a low vibration. The werewolf is quietly, silently purring. At first, it's a barely noticeable movement, but then his short, fluffy tail starts to wag slowly, but comfortably from side to side. He's a good boy, a very, very big but good boy. He deserves praise. I'm the Princess Mononoke of this gas station. Although David doesn't seem thrilled, I pull my hand back. Yeah, he's mad over here. Ahem. Thank you, ma'am. It's been a while since I've been. Anyway, thank you. So getting back to my purpose of my visit. Apologies for this sudden intrusion. Edward, you can just call me Eddie. We're chasing down a certain pest. You haven't seen a vampire around here by chance, have you? You know, a young, a bit scruffy, wearing a leather jacket. You see, here's a story. One of our packs nearly took out a vampire sire and his offspring a few hours ago. It was a tough battle. We suffered losses. We tried to track them down and found one of them, well, more like a pile of ash where he once lay. It seems one bloodsucker off the other when he was weakened. The family values are quite lacking. It seems patricide has occurred. David didn't tell me anything about it. Probably that's why he had all those questions about vampirism. He was trying to get advice on where to go next after killing his creator, but in a completely idiotic way. You see, man, vampires are parasites on the body of our society. Okay. Bro's talking to me like a bro, sure. They drink blood like mosquitoes, but unlike mosquitoes, they kill their victims by draining them dry. They languish in boredom with their immortality and thus destroy human destinies, play with them and torment them, and derive a semblance of pleasure from their suffering. They are devoid of true feelings. I look at David, devoid of any feelings. He's shaking all over. Yeah, I can see he's pissed. So I would be extremely grateful for any help. Okay. If I accidentally say the wrong thing here, okay. Don't give David away. The bastard threatened me 5 minutes ago, but now he's small, trembling, and helpless. He's my bastard. I force a smile and say I haven't seen anything. A quiet, peaceful night. Eddie examines me closely. He's probably catching a faint scent of blood, but my calm demeanor throws him off. Strange. Well, okay, if he shows up, just give a whistle. We're not far away from here. Good night, ma'am. The werewolf goes off to his important wolf business. David crawls out of his hiding spot. You could have turned me in. He stares into my eyes as if he's trying to peer into my soul and understand what it's made of. And that would have been the sensible decision, but I'm glad you're not one of those sensible ones. David says this with genuine relief in his voice. He's grateful to me, and now doesn't quite know what to do with that gratitude. He clears his throat awkwardly. So, what's the answer to my question? What would you do if you were a vampire? His gaze reminds me of a lost fighting dog. Without a master, he's restless and can't find his place. What an advisor he picked. May the Lord help him. Okay. So, here are the options. I take everything life has to offer. Travel, entertainment, new experiences. The world is full of wonders. And when you're immortal, all doors are open to you. I just surf the internet. Decay and rot. Nothing would change. One could enslave humanity, or at least one neighborhood in this city. You could learn so many things, read so many books, even learn to play the saxophone. Let's start with this one. Let's see what he says to this. He chuckles. Oh, still waters run deep and all that. Pity the road of adventure led you to a stinky gas station. Maybe you're right. The world isn't limited. Maybe you're right. The world isn't limited to this lousy town. He says this quietly, almost to himself, looking out the window at the dark, empty highway. It's as if he just remembered there's something beyond his cage of alleyways and gangland. As if he just remembered there's something beyond his cage of alleyways and gangland showdowns. That's a tough word. Why is that a tough word for me? Here, for the future adventures. David is about to turn around and leave when he suddenly stops. He pulls out a crumpled piece of paper from his pocket, scribbles a number on it, and leaves it on the table next to my hand. But just as I reach for it, his hand covers mine, pressing it to the table. His skin feels cold, rough, from barely visible scars and blisters. This grave-like chill sharply contrasts with the warmth of my own hand. A slight tingling, like a static electricity. Call me if you need a ride from work. I've got a couple of ideas for what we could do before dawn. See you. David says goodbye and leaves. The gas station sinks into absolute silence. Well, that was quite an interesting encounter. I really could have turned him in, but I didn't want to. Hang the drawing on the wall. Yeah. For someone obsessed with ass-related threats, surprisingly, his hands are quite skilled. Now, I also have a date invitation from a guy who wanted to make me his dinner half an hour ago. I don't even know what's worse, this or the offer to go home in a bone carriage. Though something tells me that if I accept, I might not return home at all. I survived another visitor. It seems I'm starting to get used to this job. Wiping off the sticky residue, hoping it was just spilled soda from the counter, I suddenly hear the crunch of gravel outside. Hooves? Oh! It's definitely not another vampire. And that is where I'm stopping today. I will catch you in the next part.